Welcome to Letting Go University. Today we're going to be releasing on resistance to letting it happen, resistance to action. So if you want to learn more about letting go, there's a couple of videos on the channel that go into the process in depth. Though you can also pick up these books, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by Dr. David R Hawkins and The Sedona Method by Hale Dwoskin. What's going on where we don't just do the thing, don't just allow the body to go into action, where we don't just let go of the negative feeling? What are some of the things that you have told yourself you should do, or that you want to do, or that it seems like it would be a benefit for you to do, but you're not doing? So that could be switching jobs. That could be reaching out to prospects. That could be asking somebody out on a date, or going through your closet and cleaning it out. There's all kinds of things that we put on delay rather than just allow to happen. And when we allow something to happen, that might mean the physical body going into action, or it might mean just letting go and watching it just occur. When we let go of resisting, allowing it to happen, or resisting action, we don't have to worry about how it's done. There are projects that I've put off for long periods of time that I've been very, very resistant to. And when I let go of the resistance, I just watch as the body goes and does the thing, like cleaning up something, or asking somebody out on a date, or going and getting a job. Various things there's so much resistance to, but ultimately it's so nice when it actually happens, to just ask somebody out on a date, and whether they say yes or no, okay, that the relief of just being through that, and the courage of going through that process, or the relief of and pleasure of having a clean space that was dirty, or the relief of having a job and having an income, or getting another job that I enjoy more. When we let go of the resistance and we allow things to happen, and when we allow the body to go into action and do its thing, oftentimes the results are quite pleasurable. But it's imagined that it's not going to be pleasurable. I'm imagining, oh, I got to clean this up. Oh, what if they say no? Oh, what if I don't get the job? Or what if the prospect says they're not interested in my product? So I'm putting a whole lot of energy into what I don't want, rather than just going through it and allowing it to happen as it does. Attachment to an outcome and imagining a lack of pleasure is a huge part of resistance. So for this release, just take anything you've had on the fence that you've been saying, this would probably be good for me to do. I want to do this, or I need to do this. I should do this. And just releasing the resistance to letting it happen, allowing it to happen, which may include the body going into action. But we don't need to know. Some things is pretty obvious. Oh, I can just go and do the dishes. Some things, it might not be so obvious, but when we release these feelings and the resistance, it becomes clear, or it just happens. One of the cool things about releasing and letting go is oftentimes things just fall into your lap. But let's see what happens for you. So take something. What's something you've been resisting allowing to happen? Resisting letting it happen, resisting action with. Anything at all. Most of us have something we've been putting off. And could you notice that resistance, that feeling that's had you putting it off? Going behind the thoughts, could you notice that? Could you allow that resistance? Really let it up consciously. Allow that feeling up. Maybe there's fear of how it's going to go, or not knowing how to do it, or really, really wanting it instead of allowing it to happen, taking action. So that feeling, whatever it is, wherever it is, could you open up and allow that resistance to letting it happen, that resistance to action to come up, that feeling, really feel that feeling. Go for more of it. And could you even feel it more? Ignoring the thoughts. Thoughts are all resistance to feeling feelings. Could you allow yourself to just be with that feeling, letting it run? And as you just allow that feeling to be there, it's dissolving. It's going. As long as you're ignoring the thoughts and just allowing yourself to be present right now with that feeling. And could you let it go? Would you let it go? And whether the answer is yes or no, that's fine. Just continuing to allow that feeling. Sometimes you get a release by saying no and really letting yourself feel it. Consciously holding it for a moment, and then it releases. Because the releasing is something we allow to happen by just doing it, just being in that action, by just choosing it. So when could you choose to let go of the resistance to allowing that thing to happen? To allowing the body to go into action? It's just a choice. How about now? And so you can keep that feeling running. People get discouraged in their letting go process when they say, I said yes, I'll let it go. And it's still there. Yeah, there's more. There's more of that feeling. So just allowing more of that feeling to flow. Or you can check in with that same thing or something else. What have you been really resisting letting it happen? Or allowing the body to go into action with? And could you let that resistance be okay? Behind all the thoughts, could you notice that feeling? Could be fear, could be anticipating discomfort. Just noticing that feeling. Wherever it seems to be in the body, in the field, could you open up and let that feeling be there, whether it's labeled or not? Don't have to know what a feeling is to let it go. And could you let that feeling just do what it does, feel like what it feels like? We'll just call this feeling resistance to letting it happen. Resistance to action. And could you open up more and really just be present with that feeling just right now? Nothing to change about it. Nothing to modify. Could you let it be just a feeling, not a good or a bad feeling, just a feeling? And just feel it just right now. And could you release that feeling? Any of it, even a little bit, maybe a lot. Just could you release it? You don't have to. Could you? Would you release that resistance to letting it happen if you could? When could you release? And just kind of watching that feeling. Maybe it goes, maybe it shifts, lightens up, or it might even come up more. If it's been suppressed a whole bunch and you're finally opening up, could you just keep it flowing? And so taking that same thing or something else that you've really been resisting doing, really been resisting letting it happen, been delayed for a day or months or years. And could you just notice the feeling when you imagine that thing and it happening, any resistance to it just happening, to the body just going into action. Just letting that resistance be there. It's a feeling. Behind all the thoughts, if you find thoughts running, could you go behind the thoughts, drop into the body, the energy body, which closely envelops the physical body, just dropping in, being aware. Thoughts take us out of and away. Could you just go into the feeling, into that resistance, and be with it for a moment? It's been there. It's just been suppressed out of awareness. So could you open up, be with that feeling, and just start to lighten up that resistance just by allowing it? Could you allow that feeling to be there, do what it does, just experiencing that feeling and letting the thoughts scroll by without tapping on them? Just a feeling, just for now. Choosing to experience the feeling, and maybe even choosing to surrender it to God. Could you surrender this feeling to God? Doesn't mean it goes right away. It might not. Would you surrender this feeling to God? Just experiencing it and turning it over, moment by moment. When could you surrender this resistance to letting it happen to God? And in surrender, that feeling goes, or there's more. It's just getting out of the way so that feeling can release. Just surrendering it to the field, just turning it over. Instead of suppressing it and keeping it stuck, carrying it around, it's letting it go, surrendering. And sometimes we've wanted to do something for years, or maybe we've just been putting it off all day. It seems like that would be a good idea, that would be beneficial to do that. And yet, just not doing it really resisting letting it happen, letting the body go into action, letting the field do it in a way that I can't even imagine. Because I've been imagining it not working out or it being displeasurable or painful. And so can you notice with this thing you've been putting off or been resisting allowing to happen, what have you been imagining about it that's bad? Maybe seems like it's not going to go the way you want it to. Maybe it seems like it's going to be displeasurable. And just notice the kinds of thoughts, that thinking that's been happening instead of allowing it to happen. And could you go behind those thoughts and allow that feeling? That feeling could be fear. It could be desire. It could be pride. I don't want to mess up. Or guilt. I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not enough. So just noticing that feeling. And we'll just call whatever that feeling is resistance to letting it happen, resistance to action. And could you allow that feeling? When we make a monster out of feelings, we tend to suppress them. Could you let this feeling just be fine? Could you maybe be kind to this feeling, give it a chance to be felt? Let going through this feeling and feeling it be your pathway to letting it happen. Shake hands with the feeling, maybe embrace the feeling, welcome the feeling. And just ignoring the thoughts, letting them drift by without following them. Could you allow this feeling to have your focus, your attention, your presence, your welcoming, your embrace, just with this feeling, just a feeling, just right now. Just some resistance to letting it happen. And could you let that resistance dissolve in your embrace, dissolve in your welcoming? Could you allow that feeling to dissolve? Would you let that resistance to letting it happen dissolve? When could you let it dissolve? It's just a chance for now. And so there might be more. You could just keep letting it dissolve. Keep welcoming it, embracing it, feeling it. That feeling will dissolve all on its own when it's not resisted with all this thinking. Just letting it dissolve. And so when it comes to that thing that seems like a good idea to do, that thing you'd like to happen, could you just notice the resistance to letting it happen, to letting the body go into action, to just letting it be done? And when that comes up, just feel that feeling. Let it run. You could even really resist letting it happen, really resist the action, and allow that energy to dissolve and watch what happens. Maybe the body goes into action. Maybe it just happens. Because we don't need to control that. We release the negative feelings, the resistance, and let it happen, whether that has something to do with the body going into action or not. And just see if there's more productivity, if things are flowing a little bit more in your life as you release the resistance to letting it happen. Thank you so much for joining us, and have the best day. Please feel free to join us for more of these sessions. Get a one-on-one with me. Come to our group sessions. We have 4 group sessions a day and one-on-ones available throughout the week. So would love to get to see you and hear about what you're releasing on and what's working for you. And please post in the comments if you guys have anything you want as a topic to come up on these YouTube sessions, or if you get any results. Did you release the resistance and it just happened? Thank you so much. Best day ever.